What's good, JT fam? We're back again with another lit
banger. That was a lot.
That was scary. He said bangle.
Bang bang.
He went bangle.
Bangle. Like I have a literal speech about
like it's my son. Anyways, hold on a second. We're taking a second to pull my nose.
Okay. Oh, are you gonna cut this out?
Yes.
Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to our channel, I'm Jess, and this is T, and welcome to J&T TV, guys.
What is this? I just did that. Oh my god.
Oh wow.
That's the most
Never seen you do that before.
right there.
We are starting a queer survival guide. This is one of our little installments of that series. It's going to be the tips for your first queer relationship video.
This one? Yeah.
So anyway, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into the tips and the tricks. We have both been up and down this road. We've had a lot of queer relationships, and we've learned a lot. This is the first healthy one.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first? Okay.
Go first.
So the first thing I would say is don't overthink it. I mean, I think it's easier said than done. You worked yourself up to this point, you finally come out, you're at in the situation where this is your first relationship and you're feeling good because now you've come out. It's really easy to overthink things and really get desperate with it and just like be in your head all the time.
Yeah.
But I would say
it's not healthy.
It's not healthy to just constantly be overthinking everything. So I would say just kind of like be natural with it.
Yeah, and like enjoy it. Like if you're constantly in your head about things, you're so removed from what's happening in the present, and you can't even enjoy this beautiful thing that you've worked so hard for. You've likely worked so hard to like feel okay doing.
Yes.
And you like waited so long to even understand about yourself, and now you're finally there and you have this like an actual real love, and you're not able to like enjoy it. And that's sad. Honestly, you have to remind yourself that like you worked so hard, you have to do so much, probably most of us, to get here into this space to feel safe and comfortable. And you finally found someone, and now you're gonna like let yourself get in your head and be like just nervous about everything. Like, no, live your life, enjoy it.
Yes.
Enjoy it, girl.
And have fun.
Girl, he, him, everyone.
Okay.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ooh, girl, I could talk about this one. Okay, so this one is so important, okay? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna talk about specifically like women loving women relationships too. It's so common for lesbians and queer aligned women to like put all their eggs in one basket when they get into a queer relationship. And they just like, because women loving women tends to create a very like emotionally charged relationship. I think it's just so easy for people to get so invested and so obsessed with the person that they're dating that they let it become their entire life.
Yeah.
And they start like neglecting their friends and their family, and before you know it, you kind of push everyone away because you're putting everything into this person that you care about and you love so much, and you have this beautiful relationship that's just like so emotionally overpowering, and it just consumes your whole life. And that's the most unhealthy thing, because that's like the puppy dog phase, like the like love, like the little like rainbow and butterfly phase. But then when like real life hits you in the face again, almost every single time this happens in like a queer relationship, it's like it ends up falling apart. Yeah. Because you realize later on, when the puppy dog face and the rose tinted glasses are off, that like you have literally, you have nothing other than this one person, and that's super vulnerable. And then when the fights come in and like you start struggling a little bit with the person, because that's bound to happen, that's just like life. Everyone
your world falling apart.
Your whole world's falling apart. So it's even more vulnerable and crazy and scary, and it just creates like a very like toxic situation for you to be in, and you have no one else to rely on other than this person. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I think a lot of us are guilty of being there before and letting it go too far and not really even realizing that's what you're doing until it's too far gone. But nobody should ever make you give up your whole life for them. If somebody loves you, they're gonna want you to have other people in your corner and other people that love you. And you are definitely in a toxic relationship if you are with somebody who just wants you all to themselves.
I said what I said.
Absolutely. Yeah, so don't let that happen.
Okay, so the next one is a joke, but is actually true. Please do not U-Haul, okay?
Too fast.
too fast. So I know for a fact that a lot of women, again, emotionally charged, they know what they want. I'm not trying to generalize, but I think women
No, it's
more
so true.
often than
We all
not
know it's a stereotype for a reason.
exactly what they want, right? So it's like, there's so much emotion flying, there's so much everything happening all at once. It's very easy to be like,
you're the love of my life. Let's move in together. Let's get married. Let's get like everything intertwined.
like we're married and it's been like 2 weeks.
I know that's right.
And I think what ends up happening is like, you know, people get pets and they do all this stuff together, and then it just makes it that much harder when they end up being like, I actually was like hasty, like moved too quick, and I didn't know this person like I thought I knew them, and now you have to untwine your entire lives. Like
Separate everything.
Yeah, like separate them. And it's just, it ends up being a lot. And I think when you're not emotionally ready to move in with someone or to take the relationship to a certain level, and you do, it creates a lot of pressures where it's like you feel like you should be further along, but you're not actually, you're like faking that you are. Like it's just...
No, and it's true. It's kind of like what I said before about like putting all your eggs in one basket. We tend to like, especially like women, loving women, we tend to create like a weird veil of like rose tinted glasses stuff where you like think everything's so perfect, and then you also are just so obsessed with this person that like all you want to do is move, like just like railroad through the entire thing. And it's like, there's not always the right decision to make, no matter how much you want it and how much you love the person. You have to like sit back and think about it and think about like what they're gonna give you and what you're gonna give them, and how it's, and are you even compatible to live with someone? Like, I only found out what that really means when I lived with you. Yeah. Like knowing what being compatible to live with someone is. Like, there's so many things that go into living with someone, and mature relationships don't develop after a few months. They don't. There are so many missing pieces and like puzzle pieces that are just gone there, and you're gonna feel those holes later on at some point. You might not feel it right now, and it might feel great right now, but once the rose-tinted veil comes off and you know, real life slaps you in the face, a 2-month relationship that you hauled is not going to be able to withstand stuff all the time. Not always, but a lot of the time. So it's like, consider that before you just railroad your life for somebody. Be open to closeted partners.
I think this one's very specific though, to like
people who
younger
are like, you know, but this is your first queer relationship, you know. A lot of people, their first queer relationship is a closeted relationship. Or maybe you're out and the person that you really like or whatever, like they don't have an accepting family and they have to like, you know, be in the dark about themselves. Or maybe they're
not even out
I honestly think I've definitely been in a situation before where like my parents still weren't like on board, so I had to just like, they knew, but I had to kind of act like, just never bring anything up and like never ever talk about it in order to appease them, I guess, and so that I could still like live with them and like whatever else. And I've definitely been with people who, you know, I understand that people not wanting to deal with that because it brings them back into a place where they feel like they have to hide and they feel like a secret. Like, I get that, but I feel like when you're new into the community and stuff, and when you're dating people, you have to look at them as a human and be like, you know, nobody gets to control their family or control what their family thinks. And there are lots of people who would genuinely be in an unsafe situation if they were to come out. And people they should not come out for you. No. If you're in the corner butthurt being like, oh, you know, I just want you to come out for me because if you loved me, you would come out for me. It's just, that's not how it is. You know, this person's gonna lose their whole family. They could be homeless. They could have nowhere to live. You have to like think about culture and, you know, like how that plays a piece as well. It's not everyone has parents that just like, that it's okay in their religion or in their culture, or like, you know, there could be people like, everyone lives a very different life and in a very different situation, and you have to be open and understanding of that. And if you actually care about somebody enough to date them and to think of them really like highly in a way that you want them to come out for you, you should just let them come to terms with it and be ready and do it on their own terms, because they're gonna resent you if things go really badly and they don't feel like they're ready for it yet and they felt pressured by you. That's gonna be a resentment that they're gonna hold towards you. And it's also not fair, because everyone needs patience and like needs to have somebody that's just going to be there and, you know, accept their choices. Because coming out and being queer is so hard. It really is, and so many people have it so difficult. And we have to be understanding of that as people who understand what it feels like to not be accepted. Like, you have to be open to that. All
right, I'm gonna do the last one because we're running out of time here, so I'm gonna do it quick. The last one that we have is being a good open communicator, okay? That is key. Communication is key. I think everybody realizes that their relationship will boil down to really good communication. So I think, especially with it being your first queer relationship and going through things that you haven't gone through necessarily before, I think being really open with that partner and that person that you've chosen to be with for the first time, really being open to how are you feeling about things, the smallest things as are you comfortable with PDA yet? You've never crossed that bridge yet because you've never had to. What does it feel like to be out holding hands? Like having that first relationship, you're going to cross into a lot of things that you didn't realize that you were going to cross into because it's all new territory. So being able to have open communication and be honest and vulnerable and able to accept criticism humbly, like all of those things are going to be like key for moving forward in your first like gay relationship, I think.
Yeah. So it's just important to talk to someone and talk through everything with them and make sure that like you're both on the same page and that you both have the same expectations.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't, like working through it. Like there's so many things that are going to happen that you're going to run into that you wouldn't run into with the average relationship that you really have to be on point with communication for your first one, I'd say.
Yes. But anyway, guys, those are all of our tips. Get out there and love somebody.
Get out there. Go get them, Tiger.
And get yourself a partner, okay?
Yeah.
Do the thing. It's a hard thing.
If you want a partner.
For people who are looking for someone and they wanted to watch this video to get advice, honestly, just go out there, do the thing. Don't be in your head and just take the tips.
Thing.
Don't take the tips.
Do
Live your life,
thing.
okay?
Comment down below if there's people that also have other kind of thoughts on this whole situation and what that looks like. Comment down below. Again, we want this to be a family so that we can all go drop down into the comments and get little tips and tricks because we don't necessarily know everything that there is. So if there's other people out there that have some other stuff that they want to share, drop it down below.
Or if you want advice about a certain situation, like leave it down below.
We'd love to do those.
I would love to do like a little like anonymous series
Ooh,
of people like,
maybe that could be our
their
next series.
situations and we can like give them advice. Like,
that could be our
so
next
cool.
series, like an advice.
Absolutely. But anyway, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for 5K. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't, and if you haven't. And I hope you guys have a lovely day.
We love you guys. Bye.